I know you guys will get to that, but they're a very, very good team.
How ready is your team for the start of the season?
Our last inter squad was Sunday, and we weren't nearly as sharp. And so, a couple different ways to look at that. One is, my goodness, what happened, because we were so good the prior week and previous 2 weeks. Hopefully the positive is these guys are just sick of playing against each other. You go through that every fall. I think our guys are probably chomping at the bit, and they need to be. They need to be, because we've got to play well Friday night.
What was your biggest takeaway from the preseason? Just biggest observation about your team?
Biggest observation. It would be a positive, and it would be the step forward that our culture has taken with regard to maturity and selflessness. Still have got to become more accountable. Got to do a better job of doing our basketball jobs, whatever that next play is. I'm sure every team in the country right now is not hitting on all cylinders relative to scattering report stuff, closeouts, transition defense, blocking out, the correct read in an offensive play or what have you. We've been pretty good there. We've got to get better there. But what we can hope to hold on to, because they've been very good, are those other areas that we talked about. Been pretty even keel. Have worked at a pretty consistent level. Have not been overly emotional about things. Sunday scrimmage was probably our worst practice, and I think that says a lot. I think we went there probably about 3 weeks without having a bad day. So pleased about those things. And then again, with having so many upperclassmen, you have a fear. There'll be so much parity on our roster, so much competition. A big fear that we've all talked about, of course, is the agendas. In basketball, you can start hunting shots, and you can start your energy level and defense and rebounding and doing your job, accountability, your work ethic. Can all be motivated by your touches and your shots. And I think Sunday we weren't great in that area, but heading into Sunday we were great. I've been proud. Circling back to your initial question, this team's been great with their unselfishness so far, and I certainly hope we see that Friday night moving forward.
Your shooting, both from the free throw line and 3-point line were very,
Yeah, horrific.
So, what are you seeing improvement there?
Yeah, but at the same time, knock on wood, I just don't want to make it a big issue unless it becomes an issue. But honestly, yeah, we've shot the ball really well. But we hadn't played under the lights on TV in front of our fans against the Division I team yet when it counted. So if we shoot the ball well Friday night, I'll take a deep breath and feel good about it. But in practice, we've shot it well. We have. Is that going to be our strength? I don't think so. Do I expect to be an improved shooting team from the 3 of the foul line? Absolutely.
Denver had a great note, by the way, on 295 combined starts. Is that it? 295? So you have a ton of experience. How's the chemistry coming along?
I got to look into that, Denver.
Yeah.
Good. As we talked about earlier, I'm pleased with where we're at with our chemistry right now. With our scrimmage and our exhibition game, I thought we were really rooting for each other and passing up okay ones to get really good ones. Guys making the right plays consistently, whether they were scoring or not. And those are all things to evaluate in the preseason, things that are important and specific to this team, which would be an improvement from last year. And again, it'll be a reevaluation when it really counts on Friday night. But we've been in a pretty good place so far.
You brought up culture a few times this preseason. Can you speak to how that was an obstacle last year?
Sure. I'm honest. I've been honest with you guys really throughout the whole deal, especially this offseason, when you look back to that team, it's the same thing I'm telling our team. We didn't have a horrible culture last year, and I wouldn't categorize us as extremely selfish, but I would categorize us as the most selfless team around or in our league. Or we needed to be more selfless. We allowed some of that noise that some of our guys have to deal with to creep in at times and affect our energy level and affect our intensity level in other areas, whether I guess sometimes dependent upon our offensive game. And then of course, you know, with the NCAA tournament distraction there for that 6 to 8 weeks, I think that became a factor a little bit too. So we're really just trying to, I hate to be cliche, of course, but we're trying to just get better today and focus on Florida Gulf Coast. We're trying to play for each other, and with regard to culture, we're addressing it a bunch, and we're talking about things more freely with regards to unselfishness and making the extra pass and how important those factors are for this team. I want that fresh in our guys' minds on a daily basis.
Coach, there's obviously